Hope everybody's having a great day. We got another install for the Mustang. If you see my last video, obviously relocated the battery, but today we're going to relocate the fuse box and the ECU today with Mike Thomas's ECU relocation bracket. There's not really any instructions, so we're just going to kind of wing it. Also, I don't know if it works with the GT 500 bumper, which I have on the car. So we'll obviously get it mounted, and I'll figure out that situation later. But clearly, last video, this is where we left off. Obviously, fuse box and ECU are gonna get relocated. Right here where all this fucking wiring mess is. Don't mind this, it will get cleaned up. First step, obviously, here we're gonna wanna go ahead and take off your front bumper and make room to get this stuff mounted. I have the bracket outside right now. I did spray it black as it comes in a raw metal finish, but we'll go ahead and get the bumper off. Alright, oh fucking shit. Okay, anyways. Take your time. Okay, here we got the Mike Thompson ECU bracket. Kind of looks a little weird right now, but I think it goes in per se like this, according to the pictures. How do I film this? Shit, this might not fit. Oh well, it'll sit something like that. Obviously a little bit more flush, but I'm trying to do this with one hand with a bracket and a piping in my way. But once I get it mounted, I'll show you all that. But right now I'm trying to figure out where I need to, or where I should say, where I want to relocate my wiring to hide it all and tuck it. But there is a small hole down there that I think I'm going to run everything through, but I'll keep y'all updated on what I decided to do. Okay, this is where we're at. I got it mocked up to where it needs to be, and I test fitted the GT 500 bumper, and it does fit. It looks like the ECU sits on this side, and it'll clear over the tunnel. If not, you might have to shave a little bit, but I'll show you how that when I get to it. Unfortunately, if you're running a centrifugal, the lower piping coming off the blower itself, this piping that goes down, wraps around to the side of the intercooler. It doesn't look like it's gonna work, but I will attempt to make it work, and I'll keep you all updated on that too. But for now, we're just gonna leave it because this setup's gonna be changing anyway, so I might not keep the piping at all in regards. But now we're gonna figure out how I'm gonna get the ECU and the fuse box down below the headlight. I might take the headlight out. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'll take the headlight out and keep y'all updated. Not exactly sure where I left off, but we got the fuse box moved in order to get these three, or the fuse box actual bracket itself get off. It's 3 bolts here, and right here. And obviously you can see there's a big ass hole, and I'll show you that in a second, but he sent you this 3D printed plate, which I didn't use, but you can kind of slide up around the wires and get a rough idea of where you need to cut around the outline. But it's obviously a triangle, you just need to make it bigger. It's what I did. Then you can pull off these bullshit ass tabs and push it through. Now we're gonna get on to getting the fuse, or not the fuse box, sorry, the ECM down under here as well. Then be careful when you're putting on the bottom of the box. You have to have it orientated like this, up and down, with a big wire on top. I had it flipped over a minute ago, and obviously that didn't work, but we'll get to it. Alright, so right now we're working on the ECU. You will need to remove this bolt, and if you look, you obviously can't see it, but there will be a bolt on the frame rail here, a bolt on the frame rail here, then you heard the bolt fall, but this will be able to slide up and out. So we got the ECU off the bracket. It's just 2 bolts to hold that in once you get it out. And I'm not 100% sure how this goes on. Again, there's no instructions, so I'm just kind of fucking winging it, but it comes with that spacer, and that's the only hole it lined up with, and it seemed like the only thing that would fit. And obviously, the bolt down here, bottom, fuse box. So I mean, it's pretty sturdy. Seems pretty sturdy to me. But obviously I can't move this big wire from that goes inside the fuse box to get the plugs in. So I think I'm gonna hang the ECU off to plug those plugs back in after I figure out how I want them routed. Obviously, which one's which. I think they only go into one spot, so hopefully that's the case. But I'm gonna go ahead and take probably one of these bolts out, put the plugs in, reattach it, then we'll see what this mess looks like. The harness that was connected here, if you watched the last video, you can run it alongside okay, this harness is right here that I did for the relocation for the battery. So you can run it with that below everything and kind of have everything. How this is kind of the hole you're left with after you do cut it, and everything just kind of ran through there, but you're not going to see 90% of this because that radiator cover comes to about right here on the side, so most people are going to see this right here, and you can see obviously how much free space that did clear up. Alright, so I got the ECU hooked up. For my Vortec guys, this lower pipe is not going to work. I cannot vouch for any turbo guys like the On3 or BL Fabs or the CPR guys, but I'm sure it'd be easy just to fab up a little elbow that goes up to here. Some sort of piping, I don't know. But got everything wired up and hidden. So clearly I'm not the best at recording videos, but we kind of do a overview of the Mike Thompson relocation bracket for the fuse box and ECU. I kind of do a run over because I realized the video was kind of short, but fuse box ECU is here. As you can see, most of the wiring I did hide. I was able to use pretty much all of the factory harness. So there was this plug that goes here, comes down to the fuse box itself and the ECU. This big harness that goes under the radiator cover, I did just run it through here. There's really nowhere else you can do it without repinning the whole harness, which I will do eventually because it kind of eliminates this fucking mess. This is the other part of the harness that comes off the wherever the fuck it comes from to the injectors down over yonder. Everything will be hidden behind this radiator cover, so I'm not too worried about it for right now because later on I do need to do head gaskets and etc. So the whole motor, I'll go ahead and pull the whole motor. You don't need to do that for head gaskets, but I'm going to do it anyways and clean up the rest of this mess. But for now, this will work. As you can see, it's kind of a tight fit down up under here. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause it there, but it is a tight fit for under here. But I did mount up, don't know where they went, my fender liners. Everything does clear. I need to get the wheel on here eventually when I get everything settled to make sure it clears, but everything should be fine. I'll get all this cleaned up. I did run one of the factory harnesses, if you watched my last video, under here with all the battery stuff, so I was able to stretch it out far enough. It comes off the same exact Y. You pull it, wrap everything around here. As you see, ignore all this. I have all this pulled out right now because I'm rewiring that too. That's for my striker light headlights. See, it is pretty sturdy. I think it'll be fine. I still don't know what that spacer goes to, but I'm assuming that's where it's supposed to be. That's the only thing I could find out. I think I mentioned this before, but for the Vortec guys, or any kind of guys that run any kind of boost or an intercooler or such, you probably will have clearances with this lower pipe. As you can see, this piping is supposed to come out over here. Does not fit, so I'll have to make something work with that, but overall it's not a bad fit. It does clear the GT500 bumper with that big fucking hole for the fog light. It does clear that, so anybody running the GT500 bumper, it will clear. Vortec guys will not clear, or any kind of boost application, I'm assuming. Granted, this is a fabrication part, so you're going to have to do some modifications because it's not like a direct fit kind of thing. I haven't seen any other videos about this, and I'm apologizing now if it's not the best quality. I'm still kind of learning how to record all this, but everything does fit as supposed to, and it does work. If you do have any questions, I can try to help my best, or you can shoot me a message on Instagram. I do respond faster on there, but overall, not a bad setup, and hope everybody's having a great night. I don't really know how to do outros, so I'm just gonna wing it. I don't know, that's that, so yeah. Alright, I don't remember where we left off, but anyways, we got the headlight mounted back up. As you can see, everything's nice and tucked away, cleaned up. Fuse box does fit. I had to do some trimming for the new power cable that I put in. The one Mike Thomas supplies, the way I did it, does not... it just doesn't work the way I wanted it to, but you can use it, you can not use it, it's up to you. One big mistake that I did make, I'm in my work uniform still because I just got off work. There is 2 plugs. This plug and another one that looks identical right there. Do not get those backwards because your car will not start, obviously. I ran into the issue not thinking about it, and it just kind of clicked to me one day that, oh, that's the front display interface module and something else. Anyways, it would let the whole car work as normal, but you could not start it in any way, shape, or form, and you get advanced track light and so on and so forth. It does look like kind of a mess, but this is all going to be hidden. There's not much room for these cars unless you go a standalone to fit anywhere else. As you can see, this is, I'm not done with that yet, but all this is going to be hidden by the radiator cover. If you are running a Vortec, you will have to, I'm not going to put it back on because I think that's more than sturdy enough, but if you are worried about it, you can make some kind of bracket to hold that better. Also for my Vortec guys, I did get the pipe to kind of fit, but I'm not going to trust that whatsoever, like the whole boost, because it's like barely on there, but you can get it on there. You might have better luck, like a spacer between the radiator to lift it up. I don't know. I'm just gonna have somebody fab one or another project later on. Wink, wink. As you can see, the batteries are relocated, no wires. The whole fuse box and ECU is relocated. All you have is this one wire that's... it's out of the way. You're not going to see it. Yeah, there's not really anything else to show. Pretty much how it fits. Also, the GT500 bumper will fit over this that I have over here. It will clear the fog light, barely, but it will clear. Also, another thing to note, this bolt down here, the third bolt for the headlight, I have it in there just to have it in there for security, but it's, unless you trim that corner of the ECU, you're not going to screw it, but I'm more than plenty enough that 2 bolts and a push pin that sits right here that I need to put back in, that I didn't put back in, but I will. Golly, fuck. More than enough to hold it in. But, yes, once I get it all wrapped up and put together, I'll show you it will start. Everything is like normal. If you didn't see, I had a new starter here because I thought it was a starter, obviously. I needed a new one anyway since I'm an E85. It's struggling anyways, but this new starter is from LMR. It's called a PA Performance. I don't know what the fuck it's called. It's some PA. It's $150. It actually works pretty damn well for being... It's not a low profile starter, but it is a high torque starter. So it's a little bit bigger than the OEM one with the Corsa headers. I don't know if you'll be able to get it in without the K member, without a tubular K member. I have a tubular K member. Was able to squeeze it out with the Corsa headers. Fitment might vary from header to header, car to car. Golly. But yeah, once I get this all wrapped up, put on the ground, I will show y'all that it does turn on. This is a video to show it does start. Oh, if I can get in here.